Value flow management is one of the most critical and often misunderstood aspects of leading product teams. It's not just about managing workflows or shipping features, it's about ensuring that real value moves smoothly from the initial idea all the way through to customer impact. This matters because, too often, our teams get caught up in activity that feels productive but doesn't deliver value to customers. We measure velocity, track story points, and celebrate feature launches, but still struggle to create benefits for our users. If you've ever felt like your team is working incredibly hard but not making the progress you expect, these next three modules will help you understand why and what to do about it. You will learn how to map and measure your value streams, identify where value gets stuck, and implement systems that keep value flowing to your customers. Most importantly, you'll learn to distinguish between mere activity and true value delivery. Let me share a story that perfectly illustrates why this matters. Mixpanel, a leading product analytics company, discovered they were stuck in a trap many product teams fall into. They were busy. They were shipping features regularly. Their engineers were working hard. From the outside, everything looked great. But then they had a wake-up call. Despite all their activity and feature releases, they weren't actually delivering the value their customers needed. They'd fallen into what I call the shipping trap, focusing so much on getting features out the door that they'd lost sight of whether those features were improving customers' lives. What's fascinating about Mixpanel's story is that they weren't being lazy or careless. They were working hard, defending existing features and constantly adding new ones. They thought they were doing valuable work. But when they took a step back and really looked at their product, they discovered many of their features weren't being used or valued by customers. The changes they made were transformative. They started removing features that weren't providing value, a process they called unshipping. They shifted their focus from feature delivery to customer outcomes. Within 18 months, their net promoter score had tripled, user retention increased, and they started winning more competitive deals. Value flow is fundamentally different from workflow or process flow. This isn't just about moving tickets through your project management system or code through your deployment pipeline. While those things matter, they're just parts of a much bigger picture. Let me explain what I mean. I've seen teams that are incredibly efficient at closing tickets and shipping code, but they're not delivering value. They've optimized their processes, automated their deployments, and even hit all their sprint goals, but somehow the value isn't reaching customers. Value flow is about the entire journey from idea generation to customer impact. It's not just about engineering, it's about product, design, marketing, legal, procurement, and, most importantly, the customer getting value from what we deliver. Think of it as tracking the path of customer value from its first spark as an idea through all the transformations it undergoes until it finally creates a positive impact for users. There are several key components we need to understand to manage value flow effectively. First, we need clear visibility of value movement. We have to see where value is flowing smoothly and where it's getting stuck. This is more than just tracking tickets. It's about understanding how value transforms as it moves through our system. Second, we need to measure both speed and quality. How quickly value moves through our system is important, but so is ensuring that what comes out the other end actually delivers the intended benefits. Third, we need to understand constraints and bottlenecks. These might be obvious things like not having enough engineers, but they can also be subtle, like dependencies on other teams or approval processes that slow everything down. Finally, and this is crucial, we must focus on outcomes over activity. This was the key lesson from Mixpanel's story. It's not about how many features we ship or how many tickets we close. It's about whether we're creating a meaningful impact for our customers. Before we dive into how to build an effective value flow system, let's talk about some common ways teams get this wrong. Understanding these failure modes will help you spot them in your organization. The first failure mode is using activity-based metrics that mask value problems. This might look like celebrating high velocity while ignoring the fact that the features being shipped aren't being used, or focusing on story points completed without asking whether those stories actually matter to customers. The second failure mode is local optimization, which leads to global inefficiency. This often happens when teams are siloed and focused only on their part of the process. One team might optimize its velocity, but in doing so, it creates more work for downstream teams or delivers features faster than the organization can effectively launch them. The third failure mode is missing feedback loops that prevent learning. We can't adapt and improve our system without effective ways to learn whether our changes improve value delivery. Understanding these fundamentals of value flow, what it is, its key components, and common failure modes, sets the foundation for measuring and improving your value delivery system. In our next module, we'll look at specific techniques for measuring value flow and understanding where value gets stuck in your system. But remember, at its core, value flow management is about ensuring that real value moves smoothly from the initial idea all the way through to customer impact.